how can your local players perform? You know, whether it's in the field, every single ball counts. Why aren't the ICC having more of a sanction or tougher penalties?
With me is former South African cricketer and one of the greatest fielder known in the cricketing world, Mr. Jonty Rhodes. Welcome, sir. Sir, some of your thoughts in the upcoming IPL season?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, having 10 years been done and now a big auction where many of the sides have changed their personnel. You know, obviously they've kept the sort of key players that they wanted to retain. But it's going to be interesting to see how the new players, because the best players in the world are here, without a doubt. And it's going to be interesting to see how the new teams gel around that. Because it's one thing having the best 11 players on a team, but do they play as a team? That's going to be, for me, a real indication of how quickly the different franchises get their teams playing together.
So we have seen players like Joe Root getting unsold and players like Shubman Gill, Kamlesh Nagarkoti, who has performed in the Under-19 World Cup, getting sold in the bigger teams. Some of your thoughts over it?
Well, I think, you know, the importance that the teams that have been successful in the IPL have really not only relied on international players, but more so the local players. You know, you've only got 4 international players that you can select, and those 4 guys maybe once or twice will win you a game in the tournament. But from a consistency point of view, or consistency in performance, you need your local players to perform. So when they see young talent, when they see local talent, a lot of the franchises want those guys in their lineup, because 7 Indian players, you want as many of those 7 to be performing consistently through your tournament. So it's less about the international names and superstars and more about how can your local players perform.
Sir, according on papers, which is the strongest team that you feel?
It's really tough. I mean, as I said, the best players are here. The best players in world cricket, T20 cricket, are here in the IPL. And I'm going to be watching the first 2 or 3 matches, or the first 2 or 3 rounds, to see which teams gel, because that'll make a massive difference. I think everybody's done their homework, they've covered their bases, have selected the teams that they believe. So on paper, it's difficult to separate, you know, having Chennai back again, having Rajasthan Royals back again. It's a whole new focus. So to pick out 1 or 2 teams on paper is very tough. I'm, as I said, going to be watching how those first 2 rounds unfold and which teams evolve quickly.
So what should we be expecting this season of IPL?
Well, I think it's, you know, cricket-wise, it's pretty much the same. I mean, you've been entertained incredibly for the last 10 seasons, and the intensity, the skills of the players have almost reached a peak where you kind of say, well, can it get any better? Can it get any more exciting? There's bat regulations that have decreased the size of the bat again, so they're trying to make it more of an even contest between bat and ball. And I think from that perspective, I just love watching the intensity. You know, whether it's in the field, every single ball counts. Bat, ball, fielding, and you know, I think we're going to see more the same of that.
And so we have seen over the past period of time that the fielding has completely increased. Yeah. Like players are not afraid of diving, saving runs. Like always, it's crucial to save runs if you're a fielder. Like if you're a good bowler, you can bowl one over. But as a fielder, you can save like singles, doubles every over.
Well, I think the key, if you look back at the history of the IPL and the matches, generally they go down to the last over and very often the last ball. And the difference there is 1 run saved here, another run saved there. So it's not just about the boundaries and about the sixes. And what, as a fielding coach, for me, my request to the Mumbai Indians was each guy saved me 1 run, including the wicketkeeper. So if it hits the pads and the spin bowlers are bowling, he can get there quickly, prevent the single. So if 11 players are saving you 1 run each somewhere, they're saving you 1, then those 11 runs in the bank go a long way to winning the close matches. And we know throughout the course of an IPL season, there are going to be a lot of games that come down to the last delivery. I mean, the 2017 final for us as Mumbai Indians was the last delivery. 4 needed to win, 3 to tie. You know, so they got 2. So 1 more run. That's all it was. It was 1 run. So that's the importance of the fielding. And it's not just in the covers or on the boundary taking the sixes. If you dive and save a ball from crossing the boundary rope and they run 3, that's that 1 run, ek run. That's all I was looking for as a fielding coach. So the importance of fielding, you can't just be a batsman, you can't just be a bowler anymore. You have to add. If you're not adding in the field, you certainly can't be you know, you can't be letting the team down.
So we have seen the Terminator Harbhajan Singh in Mumbai Indians throughout this time, and now he'll be like wearing the yellow jersey, Chennai Super Kings. As a fan of Mumbai Indians, what are your thoughts, sir?
Well, I'm not too sure he can whistle. I know he can dance, but I'm not too sure he can whistle. So it'll be interesting to see. You know, he's going to be playing on a wicket where traditionally Chennai, the pitch is really looked after. Ashwin has bowled really well on it. Jadeja's bowled well on it. The boundaries are big. MSD's had a game plan around using the spinners, trying to get the opposition to hit the ball for six, which on that particular field with the wicket and the big boundaries is a difficult thing to do. So Harbhajan Singh, I mean, we all need to not reinvent ourselves, but you know, you all get a second lease on life at certain stages. He's been with Mumbai throughout, and it'll be interesting to see how he adapts and approaches. I mean, he's a professional cricket player, so whichever environment he finds himself in, he's going to be able to give of his best, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. You know, I'm no longer with Mumbai Indians. I'm still a part of the MI family for sure, having been a fielding coach for 9 years. You don't just walk away from that in your entirety. But, you know, I love watching the game. I love watching every team play. And there's some great players to watch, and Harbhajan Singh is one of them.
So my last question would be about the ball tampering saga that's been going around. So some of your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, people are saying, why aren't the ICC having more of a sanction or tougher penalties? It's in the legislation. You know, so from a regulation point of view, from my perspective, the ICC are not being soft on the Australians. That's what the regulations say. It's up to the Australian Cricket Board now for them to make a further decision or a final decision on do they believe it's brought the game in Australia into disrepute. And also the players, when they sign their contracts, there's sort of regulations or sort of laws and rules that they need to follow, and if the Australian Cricket Australia found that the players have breached that, then they can impose different bans. So with regards to the ICC regulations, people calling for stiffer punishment, it doesn't fall under that. It's a different code as opposed to match fixing. So the ICC have followed the ICC regulations. If they need to change that regulation, that's a process that takes place. But yeah, I mean, you'll see players that they try and bounce the ball in. The umpires watch it to make sure if it bounces in from the boundary, that do try and scuff the ball up on the. But if you're throwing it, you can't always guarantee which side it's going to land. But with regards to deliberately taking something else, I mean, that's against the laws of the game, the spirit of the game. But it's also, it falls within a category that has been punished and is punishable by a suspension or demerit, and that's the full extent of the current ICC regulations. That might change, but up to now, I mean, that's what it is.
Thank you so much, sir.
Cool.